Guys, it is Izzy and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I will be talking about the Apple event that just recently occurred around I think 1 AM Australian Western Standard Time, so where I live, and I wasn't able to wake up for it, but I still woke up and wrote the things that I've got down, just the information I got from the Apple event. So taking a look at just everything I've gotten in terms of information, there is a Apple Voice plan where it's mostly like it's kind of like the Apple Music, so literally just Apple Music voice plan, and you're able to use Siri to actually get to any song you want, any specific song. And you can also actually, for example, one thing I was talking about, Siri puts a playlist that will make me go to sleep, so then it puts a slow music playlist, which is really cool, and for $4.99 that isn't too bad. You got some new colors for the HomePod Mini, call it Apple's like Google Home if you would like to call it that. So we got yellow, orange and blue, which is really nice to see that we got like a mini update on the HomePod Mini. And we have this new spatial audio slash Dolby Atmos, and I'll take a look through my information that I have gathered, so making music feel and sound more immersive. So we all know Dolby is a pretty big audio company. They're famous when helping out to make cinema quality movies, so just really great audio in the movies that you've probably watched in the cinema. They're really good, and they help out a lot over there. And it says here that cinema immersiveness, which is really that's crazy, that's really cool, and it is compatible with the AirPods Pro and the AirPods Pro Max. More like a refresher, you would want to call it, is the new AirPods 3rd Gen. So I'll read through some features that I actually wrote down. So we have water/sweat resistance, increase the battery to up to 6 hours, so that's pretty good, so extra 1 hour from the previous AirPods. And it is 5 minutes charge, provides 1 hour use, which to me that's pretty good. Like, that's a really good feature. Having 5 minutes only of charging can get into 1 hour of use, which is really cool, and up to 30 hours of total listening time, which is great. And the new MagSafe charging, wireless charging is still, it's actually in it, which is really cool. And MagSafe is something that we haven't seen in AirPods. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen this in any AirPods, so this is really cool to see, MagSafe and wireless charging. And it has the Force Sense control, so it's more like clickable buttons, you want to call it, or just it's more of a click instead of a tap. The AirPods will be available next week, so they're ready for pre-order right now, and you can get them by next week. Stay tuned for a video on them, giving just my own opinions about them, and hopefully I might pick them up. Now the big thing that we all have been waiting for, the M1X, which we thought it was going to be called the M1X because I think that was the, name roaming around saying, it's going to be the M1X, but instead we got the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. So off the bat, both these chipsets are absolutely amazing when it comes to performance compared to the normal M1 MacBook, which is really still good. The M1 MacBook's really good, but then with the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, these just blow the M1 out the way, and some of the specs are just crazy. I will be covering all these stuff specifically more in depth in a different video, so stay tuned for that video. Now looking into the biggest thing I think for a lot of tech reviewers is the new MacBook Pro. So I will read through the specs here and just talk about each spec that I cover in the script that I have here. So first thing to clear out is there is a 16-inch model and a 14-inch model. So this is, I think, the first time they have a MacBook Pro, which is 14 inches. The big thing a lot of people notice is the notch. The notch, yes, I said it, a notch on a laptop. And I think they did this just to cover up the whole real estate, whole space on the MacBook Pro. But the notch camera, it's a 50-50 by the tech community. 50% of people kind of they're like, oh, that's pretty nice. And then another 50 is like, what the heck is this? But anyway, the 16-inch model is 16.8 millimeters thin, 4.7 pounds. The 14-inch model is going to be 15.5 millimeters thin and 3.5 pounds. And on the keyboard, we actually have the FN keys back. So this is something that I think Apple hasn't included on their MacBook keyboards in a long time, so they finally brought it back. And they have Touch ID in, which is still pretty good because I think Touch ID on the laptop's a nice way just to keep your laptop safe. But going into the ports, HDMI, yes, I said it, a HDMI port, Thunderbolt 4 ports are able to also charge your laptop, but also connect to like accessories like your mouse or your keyboard. And there is an SD card reader. An SD card reader. And I know this doesn't sound too crazy for anyone, but for a lot of people who edit on MacBooks, this is a big thing for them, because having an SD card reader is so important, as just transferring files from your camera is way faster and just easier having an SD card reader installed into the laptop instead of getting an adapter. It has a headphone jack, and they have finally, which I'm happy about, they've brought back the MagSafe charging. So we all remember the magnetic charging where you just throw in a way, or just you wouldn't really have to plug it in, you'll just slowly put it next to the port and it would automatically connect via magnets, which I'm really happy they brought that back, because I prefer that over just like the standard plugging it in. I feel like the MagSafe was a bit better. You can still charge your laptop, MacBook Pro, with the Thunderbolt ports, which is really nice. So if you're connecting the MacBook to an XDR Retina display monitor, you can still charge it through the Thunderbolt ports. And one random fact that they stated was you can connect 2 Pro XDR displays with the M1 Pro, and then connect 3 XDR displays and a 4K TV. I don't see anyone doing that, maybe except Mr. Who's the Boss, because I feel like he would want to try that out. But getting into the displays for the 14-inch and the 16-inch, it is using the liquid XDR Retina display, which we've seen on obviously the XDR displays, which look beautiful. And the same displays are used on the iPad Pro, and they look really, really nice. They have made the bezels a bit thinner, which I really prefer over just having fat bezels. The 16-inch model has 7.7 million pixels. The 14-inch model has 5.9 million pixels. And going into the camera, as I was talking about the notch, it apparently runs 1080p HD. So that's something I think I would like to see tech reviewers test out, if it really is 1080p, because I feel like laptop cameras necessarily, a lot of them say, oh, it's 1080p, but then when you look at it, it literally just looks like 720p. But the biggest, and I keep saying the biggest thing, but there's so much big things that I think a lot of people were hoping to get, and we've finally gotten it, is it has the ProRes adaptive display. So that's where you can go up to 120 Hertz. We've seen this on the iPhone 13 models, the 13 Pro and the 13 Pro Max, and it is crazy that they have it in this new MacBook Pro, which it's just crazy to me. It's crazy that they have up to 120 Hertz, and you can also just lock a specific Hertz. So if you'd like to lock 120 Hertz, just that, you can do that. If you would like to lock it on 60 Hertz, you can also do that. But honestly, it's crazy. It is really, really crazy, and I think Apple is going into a good direction. And with their new MacBook Pros and the M1 chips, like Apple's going in a good direction. And that's all I gotta say. But if you guys did enjoy today's video, please hit the like button, and please subscribe if you do enjoy my content, and comment down below what you think about the Apple event, and I will catch you in my next video. See you.